Hi there. Today we're going to be talking about handling shoppers, whether it's in person or on the phone. Hi, Janice Wheeler. I'm the president of the Art of Management. We've been consulting healthcare professionals for over 30 years now, and today's topic is one that comes up a lot. It's called shopper handling. And do you know that we read this survey that was done that said that every practice loses 2 to 5 shoppers every single week. Not because your staff are feeling mean towards you, not because they don't care, that's a for sure. They just are not fully trained on sales skills. So this is part of our sales workshop that we have. But I'm going to go over a handling today that you can definitely have your staff watch this because it's fun. And maybe they're doing it all perfectly. Could be one in a dozen that do. So for those that don't know for sure how to handle it, let's talk about it. First of all, the front desk staff member who answers the phone and greets people when they come in is your make or break point in your practice. It's an extremely important position. They are like the concierge to your practice, shall we say. So how they handle shoppers, whether they're phoning in or coming in, which more often it's phoning in, will make a difference. I mean, every patient will spend a certain amount of money during a certain amount of time with you, and that's what you're there for, is to service people, right? So if you're losing 2 to 5 a week that could have been in your practice, that's a bad thing, am I right? Okay, so there's where we're starting from. So there are 5 types of shoppers. I don't know if you knew this or not, but the first one is somebody new to the area and they need to find a new whatever profession you are. And so they go online and they find the one nearest them or in their area or something like that. And so they're phoning in and saying, hi, are you still accepting new patients? Or I'm new to the area, are you taking on new patients? People don't always, it's awkward. They don't know how to ask that. Or I'd like to make a dental appointment if you're still accepting people. Because they do run into practices that are fully booked and won't take them. It's not too often anymore, but it does happen sometimes. So they're new to the area and they're looking for a new practice. So welcome them and take care of them and get them an appointment and so on. The second kind is one looking for the cheapest practice in town. I don't know if you want to be the low man on the fee totem pole or be the lowest in the fee pool. So I don't know if you really want to have that person, but I'm going to tell you something. 9 times out of 10, when they're asking how much is it for blah, 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 whatever procedure that you might offer in your practice, it doesn't mean that they're shopping for price. That's the misunderstood that a lot of people have. When they're asking that, sometimes they don't know what else to ask. Like, well, how much do you charge for a blah, blah? I'm going to take a dental one that I did. How much do you charge for a root canal? Okay, so the receptionist, when I asked that, might have presumed that I was shopping. I was not. I was just curious. I need a new dentist, and I just asked that as a question. So do not assume that somebody asking about that is necessarily a shopper and that you should kick them out the door, because this person has a need. They are not sitting at home dialing doctors for no reason whatsoever, just to amuse themselves. Trust me. They're calling because they have a need. And when they're asking about price, maybe they don't trust their existing doctor and they're looking for a new practice that will actually give them better service. And that could be the sole reason that they're calling, and there you go. So turn them into a new patient. Sometimes number 3 type is they want a second opinion. So they're asking you for that reason. Okay, I kind of commented on that already. Number 4 type is they're looking for the right practice. They've phoned around to a number of places, but honestly, we do this. We do secret shopper calls for our clients sometimes to see what is happening when somebody calls in out of the blue. You would be surprised. Almost everybody fails on this one, the shopper handling. Almost everybody. And our clients love this because it's good feedback and good training material to make sure that their staff who want to do awesome, help them be awesome, okay? So judging a practice by the receptionist is very, very common. So if you just, they phone in and they say, so how much is it for a blah, blah, blah? And the receptionist then answers that and then says, would you like an appointment? That's different than what we're going to recommend. I just want to tell you about number 5, and then I'm going to go into that point. Number 5 type is just another practice checking, calling and finding out what your prices are on something. They're just saying what you guys are saying. So you can ignore that one. Bye-bye. That one you can lose on purpose, okay? The other 4, you need to capture them into your practice. So avoid, here's first rule, number 1, on answering the phone when it's a shopper, you think, and they ask you how much is it for blah, blah. You say, you know, I want to find out a few questions first. And you take them right off of that because you do not want to answer the question how much something is. You're diagnosing on the phone. They're asking you to diagnose because how do they know that that's what they need for sure? You need them to see the doctor. So don't go there, just divert them. We call it doing a no answer. Just go off onto something and I'll tell you what to say. So you want to avoid answering the question of how much. And the second thing that you want to do is don't say, would you like an appointment? This is the most common second question asked by a receptionist. So would you like an appointment? The patient has 3 choices, yes, no, or I'll think about it. Do you want to hear a no or I'll think about it? Absolutely not. So you don't answer that question. So they say, I'm checking, I want to find out how much you charge for a blah blah, or how much you charge for cleaning, or how much you charge for an initial exam, or an eye exam, or to do an exam on the pet, whatever profession you are. And so the receptionist, in a very friendly voice, has to say, well, before I answer that, let me ask you something. What do you actually feel it is that you need today? And really want to know and be interested in caring. You've got to take the time, even if you've got other people around you and other things to do. You don't want to lose a shopper. The doctor of the practice spends a lot of money, hopefully, on marketing. You don't want to waste the people who are coming at you because of it. So you got to put some attention on this. What do you actually feel that you need? And get what the patient thinks it is, and whether they're, say, are you in much pain, or is there a serious condition here? And hear what they have to say, because that's going to give you the ability to judge how soon to book an appointment for when we get to that step. And then you can ask, well, how did you hear about our practice? And they'll say, oh, well, I saw it online, or I Googled, or my friend told me about you guys, or, find out what it is and say, well, that's awesome. Just need to know that because we keep track of how people find us. Do you live in the area? And they say, yeah, I just moved into the area, or yeah, I do. I've been here for ages and I didn't even know you guys existed. How long have you been here? And we go, 12 years. They go, oops. Anyway, people do that. They actually walk right by your practice for like 12 years, and then one day, there you are. They saw your sign suddenly. So you could also ask, when was the last time you saw somebody for this condition? If it's an ongoing condition. If you hear a dog in the background, say, is that your dog that I hear? And they say, yeah. And say, what kind of dog is it? And they say, oh, it's a blah, blah, Shih Tzu or something. And, oh, my aunt has one of those. They're awesome. What's your name? And get the name. Like, build a rapport with this person. There's where I'm going. Hear all the questions I'm asking? I'm building a friendship with this person because I'm getting to know them. That's so different than anybody else they called today who said an answer to the question, how much is it? And then said, would you like an appointment? That's why you don't say those 2 things. Everybody else said it, so you be different. So if you hear kids in the background, ask if that's their kids. Oh, no, it's my grandkids. I'm babysitting them today. Oh my gosh, how old are they? 5 and 7. Wow, that must be cool. Get to have grandma time. Well, going back to your need, let's talk about that. I have an appointment that is available tomorrow morning at 10, and I have one in the afternoon at 3. Do either of those times work for you? Do you notice I didn't say at times so they can say yes or no? I give them this one or this one. It's called assuming the close. Assume that after you've done all that and found out what their problem is and made friends with them, that they're going to want the appointment. So now ask them, give them 2 options. Try and select 2 that are quite different, like one in morning and one in afternoon or something like that. So that, and if they say no to the first 2, say, okay, let's isolate this a little further. Is morning best for you or afternoon best for you? And they say, well, afternoon, after work, I end at 4:30. Do you have anything at like 5 o'clock or 4:45? Because I can get there quite quick because I work in the area. So good. So you find that time for them, get them set up. Now here's the deal. This is the hot tip. Now that you've got the person worked out what appointment time they're having and they're a new patient, now start that sheet of questions or that list of questions that you have in the computer that you need to fill in: their name, how do you spell it, first, last, address, blah, blah, blah. Home phone, cell phone, work phone, email address, what insurance company are they with, if it's an insurance coverage, blah, 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 blah. Do you see where I'm going here? You tell them, look, I'm going to save you some time when you come in for your appointment by filling this all out right now in the computer. And once they've shared all that information with you, they're not going to skip their first appointment. We hear a lot that people do miss their, like, new patients sometimes don't show up. So this is a way of making sure that they will, because they've shared everything with you and you've made a friend out of them. There, do you see how that is a whole different take on how to handle shoppers than saying it's XYZ amount of money and would you like an appointment? All right, now what I would like to ask you is to subscribe to our channel, and be sure and share this with your friends and colleagues, and give us a like. Stay tuned for the next one in about a week. Bye now.
To get your practice analyzed, contact the Art of Management at 416-466-6217.